In Waddington versus Sorsad, the United States Supreme Court determined whether habeas corpus relief was improperly granted in a constitutional challenge to a state's jury instructions. After a fight with a rival gang at a high school, Cesar Sorsad and other gang members, including Brian Ronquillo, went to a house where Ronquillo retrieved a gun. Sorsad, Ronquillo, and three other people drove back to the school to, quote, get their respect back, unquote. Sorsad drove the car, and Ronquillo sat in the passenger's seat. During the ride, Ronquillo tied a bandana over his face and readied his gun. Sorsad drove slowly in front of the school as Ronquillo fired shots into a crowd. One student died and another student was injured. Sorsad was charged as an accomplice to murder, among other charges. At trial, the prosecutor argued that Sorsad knew that Ronquillo was going to fire the gun because fistfights hadn't worked to regain respect, but, quote, shooting was going to work. In for a dime, you're in for a dollar, unquote. The jury instructions quoted Washington's accomplice liability statute, stating that an accomplice is guilty in the commission of the crime if the person acted with knowledge that the person's conduct would promote or facilitate the commission of the crime. The jury convicted Sorsad of second-degree murder and attempted murder. Sorsad appealed and argued that the prosecutor used an inaccurate hypothetical and misused the dime and dollar maxim. The Court of Appeals affirmed. In an unrelated case, after Sorsad's appeal, the Washington Supreme Court ruled that the dime and dollar expression didn't accurately describe accomplice liability. Sorsad appealed again, but the Court of Appeals upheld his conviction. Next, Sorsad sought review from the Washington Supreme Court, but was denied. Finally, Sorsad filed for a writ of habeas corpus. The district court granted the petition. The Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit affirmed, holding that the instructions were ambiguous and that the jury likely misinterpreted the instructions. The United States Supreme Court granted cert.